Hello, everyone. Cynthia from Kaleidoscope Fabrics. So not only do I have an online fabric store, I also am a quilter, and I am a new quilter. I've only been quilting for about 3 years, and while I have been sewing for years and years and years and years, I just got introduced into quilting, and I love it. I love it's like a puzzle, and I love making a project, and sometimes you move the pieces around, and I love quilting, and I do love other sewing other projects, but quilting to me is one of those things that it's every project you make is different. Even if you make the same pattern, you're using different fabrics, it's going to be a completely new project. So the part of quilting that I'm still learning and perfecting is binding, which I'm sure most of you out there, binding is not your friend. Binding it's very cumbersome. The binding gets tangled. You're dealing with several hundred feet of fabric that's just like spaghetti. So I'm going to show you what I do to make it easier, to make it to where it's a little bit more fun and a little less cumbersome. So as you can see, I've got my drill here, and you're wondering what in the world are you doing with your drill? So what I do is I love chopsticks. I love the chopsticks that you get from the Japanese restaurant that are still attached to each other. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply just use my chopsticks as a reel for my binding. And what I do is just open them up a little bit and insert it, and then I'll put it into my drill. That clicking sound is a good sound because that means that my drill is not going to be wobbly and loose when I do my sticks. However, this little chopsticks has been used a little bit, so it's tight. So there. All right. So then all I do is I just wind it onto the chopsticks, and you may have to hold it until you get it going. And then what I do is I do not pull the binding. I do not pull it, I fight it. I just let it flow. I do give it a little tension so that it keeps the bun nice and tight. And I have seen where people use the chopsticks or the sticks you put in your hair to put it in their hair and put it in their bun. Unfortunately, I do not have enough hair to have a bun, so I personally do not do that. But what I do is, when all it's done, look how pretty. Nice and tight, little bun there, nice and neat. And there you have your binding on a spool, nice and neat. And so then what I do is I have a extension cord reel that no longer works. And it has these little holes on the side, which I find is just absolutely perfect. And so what I do is turn this around so you guys can see. I'll just load it. I run the chopsticks through the holes, and then I use the handle as my guide. Either I'll go over or under, depending on how I am, depending on my mood. So I then take this and I make sure that the folded edge is to the inside of my quilt when I'm applying it. And I always apply to the back and fold to the front. So there you have it. Nice little trick for keeping your binding organized and neat and not having to use pins or clips or different things like that. So